Hey, this is Overpass Insights. My name is Eric, and I make apps. Now, today I'm coming to you again from Istanbul, and I want to talk about how you may want to consider taking your work on vacation by yourself. So today is my last day here in Istanbul. It's been a really good trip. I've been here for 10 days. I worked the whole time I've been here. Even on the weekends, I've been do a little bit here and there. And I've also been having the dentist appointments in between. I'd have these dental implants done. That's the reason I came out to Turkey for the second time, because I came out in September and I had a follow-up appointment. But if it wasn't here, it would have been someplace else. I love to take my laptop and work in different places. Oh, here they are, by the way. They did not too bad a job. I could smile again, which is something I've been trying not to do in the last few videos. But anyway, I know I keep going on about this. I really love to take my laptop and travel different places. And I don't know why that is. I was talking to somebody last year, some woman, she was like, it was on a date. She was trying to convince me why I should not travel alone. Why? Because when you travel alone, it's lonely, it's boring, you can't share it with somebody. And as much as I couldn't tell her this, it was like, I prefer it. Like it can be lonely when you walk in the streets of another city and you're just trying to fit in, trying to look like you belong, even if you don't speak the language. And there's something, but there's also something very introspective about that. Like, I think about it as going on taking yourself on vacation, like, and not just taking yourself, taking your job on vacation. Like, if you're in a relationship and things go stale, you go on a trip, right? So like a lot of times as software developers, our job is it can be very, very, very lonely and very frustrating. And a lot of the times, I think it makes sense to take that job with you on vacation. And I know that sounds corny. I mean, as software people, we have issues that we can't even explain to other people, even other software developers, like, because we're like, it takes too long to explain it. I'm just digging through this, trying to get it work, right? I got this app that's crashing on a Samsung Galaxy 21, but for some reason, no other Samsung Galaxy phones and no other, and I'm trying to figure out what it is, and it's just driving me crazy. And a lot of times that stuff could just really get on you. So it's nice just to go someplace and just wander around. And I love doing it. I love just, being, not so much seeing the sights, like a lot of, it's kind of a vacation, but kind of not a vacation because, like I said, I've been working. I've been, a lot of time just introspecting and thinking about things. I don't know if you're anything like me, and I know a lot of people on the channel are. As software developers in general, we tend to be, introverted. Like growing up, I was the shyest kid in my school. I never, hey Eric, how come you never talk, and all that kind of stuff. And I hated it. I remember growing up, my whole life thinking, what's wrong with me? Why can't I just fit in? And now I kind of like these situations where I don't feel like I have to fit in. I just be alone. I just walk around. And I love it. I love doing it. So you guys, I mean, I know certain people have told me, I wish I could do what you do, like just travel. And I know if you have small kids and if you have like a job that won't let you leave and everything like that, I mean, that's tough. But for some of you guys can. Like for me, I'm always thinking, why don't I do this more often? And a lot of the times it's just because of the inertia. Like, oh, I don't want to go down to the airport. I don't want to book the flight with enough time in advance that it's not super expensive, and then you have to go look at the Airbnb place and find like what place looks like it's going to be kind of, like central to everything. Is it going to be easy to get there from the airport? But once you do it, I mean, it's great. I mean, I love to, my favorite thing to do, and people are like, why did I decide to come to Turkey? Well, I came here the first time because it was cheap to get here, and I hadn't been here before. And then I went and saw the dentist for the consultation, and I came back for the follow-up. But normally what I'll do is I'll go like on Ryanair and just find like the cheapest flights, you know, just like look at the date or the month I want to go, you know, sort by price and think, never been there, might as well go there. And that's another thing. I said this once before when I was in Croatia. If you're traveling with somebody else, then you can't, it's difficult to work. It's difficult to just sit down and you get stuck in a code problem. You're like, oh, I got to go because, you know, so-and-so is back in the room and they want to do something. And it's like, no, it's kind of nice just to, like, I had this one, like, on Saturday, yesterday, it was the middle of the afternoon. I thought, you know, I don't have to do any work today, but I just sort of, I did go into the office, into the co-working space to work on some of my own stuff for a bit, which I really, you know, it was just really nice to do. Like, just have that flexibility. Anyway, I'm a bit rambly. I just, you know, I think a lot about it. I think there's something very zen about going someplace on your own. Something very, you know, like it's always, it's weird because it's always like the first day or two, you are kind of lonely. You're like, yeah, you know, the texts going back to your friends back home are like, you know, lots of texts. And then after a while, you just sort of like, just sit in the environment and just start to enjoy it. And just to be a stranger. Like, you know, I grew up in San Diego, a big city where, you know, you have that anonymity. And I kind of like being in cities. I used to like working in London for that same reason. And I live in a small town now, so I don't really have that anonymity. So it's kind of nice sometimes just to go someplace where you're like, nobody knows who you are. You're just a guy walking around. And it's cool. Anyway, oh, this is a bit of a ramble. I don't even know where that came from. Anyway, those guys who thought about doing it and think, well, I don't really want to do it on my own, give it a try. It's like I said, the first couple of days are lonely, or the first day or whatever, and then after a while, you just ease into it. Like, there's nothing better than just sitting here, like on a park bench with your Kindle, or you know, and just reading for a couple hours, or sitting in a coffee shop with a laptop and just working on something, or just, you know, finishing off a few things, or getting a co-working space and just going and sitting in some other office where, for the most of the time, because we're developers, your attention is on a 14-inch screen, or you know, for me it's a 14-inch screen. At home it's a 27-inch monitor, but it's when you get to look up, you get to see everything's different and everything's kind of, you know, everything's cool. Anyway, so next time I talk to you guys, I'll probably be in England. Unless I just do this again next time I travel. I hope you guys are staying healthy, staying safe. That is it for today. I'll talk to you again next time.